So I'm the lead physiotherapist at British Judo, which means that I sort of oversee a lot of the physio medical care for the athletes. So we have about, depending on which funding cycle you're looking at, between 30 and 36 athletes, Paralympic and Olympic athletes, which I'm sort of responsible for. If they need to see the doctor, if they need to go and get a scan, if they need to be seen physio-wise, nutrition-wise, physiology-wise, I have sort of a link into all those services. I'm based at Walsall all the time unless I'm away at camps or competitions. I also have a few physios that sort of back cover me when I'm away, or if we have training camps I bring a few more hands on deck, normally here in Walsall. Very much so. So when they get injured, I'm normally the first person they come to, so I'm sometimes the bearer of good news or bad news, depending on that. So I have to then work with them to say, yes, it's okay, carry on, or actually, no, we're going to have to get you to see someone. This is going to be a long-term thing. This is what the plan will look like. What else can we put in for you? Are you happy with that? Get the coach's input, the player's input, so that their plan is their plan. So I'm not going, this is what you're doing for 9 months. It's more, these are the sort of stages we need to go through. Where should we put the judo gripping in? When should we put the throwing in? When do we put the knee wazzer in? Making sure that it's all scheduled in their plan, so they're not just turning up every day going, what am I doing today? They've got it on their wall almost, a 9-month plan of maybe not the micro detail, but the macro detail of what goes on. That week I'll be doing that. In 4 weeks I'll be testing. In 6 weeks I'll be doing this. So they've all got it planned out. Yeah, so what happened when I came into the role, there hadn't really been a physio for a couple of years, sort of full time. So my role was to go, right, what's judo like? Because it's my first sort of time in judo. I didn't really know much about judo before I started. So it's working out what the sport was. It's a fight sport. And a lot of times people want to carry on with stuff when maybe they shouldn't. So it's educating that if it's this, crack on. If it's this, let's have a look at it and let's think about it. So educating them with what is, you can strap your finger yourself versus that needs to go here. So it's trying to get that bond with the player so they're happy to say to you, is this all right or not? And then you go, that's all right, crack on, or nah, off we come, let's have a chat about this, get the coach involved, maybe see the doctor, consultant, operation, whatever needs to be happen. And those conversations happen with the athletes because we have some athletes that are 17, 18, we have some that are 32. So actually, for one of the top athletes that's going to the Olympic Games, if you have an injury today, the management will look different for a 32-year-old that's going to fight in 40 days versus an athlete that's pre-cadet, cadet, junior level, and actually their Olympic Games is in 8 years. So you may well manage them differently. So as long as you've got that communication with the player and say, hey, you're a junior. The Junior World Championships are important for you, but what's your aim? What's your end goal? Your end goal probably, hopefully, is to get a gold Olympic medal. So if you do have to take 3 months here, that stops us taking 2 years here. So you have to have that bond with the players to be able to make those decisions. And the coaches are very good at that. So other sports I've worked in have been sort of polar opposites. Some just want them to carry on with their leg hanging off. Others want them off with a broken nail. So actually you have to find a gap and find a common ground with the athlete and the coach and say, do you want this to happen when they're a junior? And we get it fixed. And actually they'll miss an important competition for a junior, but that's not the Olympic level. Versus the ones at the top and go, actually, if it is Colin Oates' last games and he has got his finger hanging on, we'll put a bit of tape on it and he can carry on. So it's finding those little differences in level and communication with the player and the coach. So myself and the doctor go out with the coaches. We're the accredited staff, so 2 coaches and 2 sort of medical type people. So we went to Belo Horizonte and Rio in March. So we did sort of a recce of the Minas Tennis Club where we're going to be based, the hotel, the training venue. Then we went to Rio and looked at the actual competition venue, so we have an idea what that's going to look like. We had a little look around the British school, so we know what that's going to look like. So my role is basically logistically, physically, medically managing the players from here on the flight to the training camp, on the flight to Rio, and then at the games. So it's lots of little bits and pieces that need to be looked at and organised, which has taken probably past year.